Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Whole Health Project. I'm Stella, and I'm delighted to be offering you this class this morning. It is a Pilates-inspired strength and mobility session about the spine. So just being open to all the movement possibilities that our spine is capable of, and not being fearful of any movements. So this is a great chance for you to explore, and for those of you who do have any issues with your back, give what you can a go, and you can always message me after about any questions that you might have, any limitations that you might feel. But I'm hoping that from this session, this frees you up a little bit, creates more space, creates this feeling of having a dynamic spine, a spine that can move, that's not stiff and rigid. So that's what we're going to be doing for 50 minutes. The props that you will need is, if you do have a book would be fantastic for when we do come down, to place the book onto your lower back for a bit of feedback. Doesn't have to be a super huge book. One about this size is fantastic. If you don't have one, no problem. Obviously a mat and a towel if you need, and that's all the props that you will need today. I have left in the description my links to social media and also my PayPal account. If you're able to donate, that would be wonderful, but if it's not feasible for you, no problem. Let this be a gift from myself to you, and do please share it with your friends. So without further ado, let's begin. You're going to start standing. And to start off, I'll face towards you, so to the camera, and I'll just move around so that you can see what I'm doing with my spine. Take one hand behind your head, behind the base of the head, and one hand behind your lower back, cupping into the lower back, palm facing out. Draw the shoulders back just ever so slightly, and use these 2 points, your two hands, to create a little bit of traction, a little bit of length through your spine. We're going to start off with some gentle breathing. So take a breath into your belly, into the ribs. Let the belly expand. And on your out breath, soften the knees, tuck the tail, round into your spine, a suggestion of a curl looking towards your knees, thinking about a cat shape, a C curve. And then inhale, lean into the front of the body, open up the front body, going into gentle extension. Do that again. Exhale, the knees soften. Use that bottom hand to tuck the tail under. Elbows can move forward. The back broadens, the back softens, and arrive back up. 2 more. Exhale. In. 1 more. Exhale, coming down. And then in. Feel the grounding through your feet. You're going to lean out to an imaginary sidewall with that elbow, pushing into the opposite foot to create more stretch through that side body. Working laterally with the spine. Then lift up and take a side lean to the other direction. Looking up, breathe in. You'll notice that breath will start to open up a little bit more into these side ribs, into the lower belly. And again, encourage, invite in that deep belly breath. From here, bend your knees. And then draw that elbow across to the opposite toe. Soften the shoulders and lean to where you feel that stretch, slightly rounding. Hold for 4. And bring your elbow back towards the ceiling. Push into both feet and arrive up, changing your arms, stretching out. Take a big deep breath in and then change. The other hand cups behind the head. The other hand cradles into the lower back, feeling that gentle shape of your lower back. And from here we go. Inhale, open the front body, maybe a little bit more exploration of extension. Exhale, a little bit more exploration of flexion, back into the heels, curl. Inhale. And out. And if you breathe quite high up into the chest and into the shoulders, for this next one, as you breathe in, just soften the shoulders away from the ears. Feel the belly move. Notice where your breath takes you, whether you're a bit more of a belly breather or a little bit more into the shoulders. I'll turn sideways again. This elbow reaching out towards the sidewall, like you're almost touching it. And then this foot pushes and moves the other way. There's a slight shift through the rib cage. And then you pick up the elbow and come to the side and enjoy that beautiful side stretch. Lingering here, supporting your head, supporting your lower back, and tractioning at the same time. Feel the ribs expand like a pair of fish scales opening up. Feel the knock-on effect into the side of the waist, the side of the hip. And on your next out breath, everyone, bend your knees. Keep your hips still, just the elbow comes around and you reach towards the opposite toe. Leaning out into these ribs, out into the hip. 4, 3, 2, 1. Realign the knees, the hips, the elbow goes up to the ceiling. Push into the legs and arrive on up. I'll face sideways again. Feet parallel, hip width distance apart. Take a big deep breath in, just so you can move into the shoulders. Soften the forearms down, like you're sliding your hands down an imaginary wall in front of you. And let's start to draw the chin to the chest, round through the upper back, rolling down. If you don't quite touch the floor, no problem. Bend your knees as much as you need to. If you're able to touch the floor, fantastic. Lean forward into the balls of the feet and activate your belly to further round your back to stretch. Breathe in, let the belly expand. Breathe out, draw the belly up. Breathe in, let the belly expand, head relaxed, and then out. Do 2 more of those so you don't have to look to the camera. You can just enjoy the breath and let your head hang. Let your shoulders draw away from the floor, back up to the ceiling to traction your neck. 1 more breath. And out. Now keep the belly gently drawing in and wander your gaze, wander your upper body to the camera side. So you're turning to face towards the camera, towards me, towards your little toe here. Stay rounded. Bend the knees as much as you need to, especially if you're tight through that lower back. You just want to soften it out. The opposite arm, lead with that arm, stretching, and then roll up slowly, staying close to your thighs. Roll up. Push the palm up to the ceiling. The other palm joins it, and you are pushing the floor away and the ceiling away as you not only lengthen your front body, but you think, how long, how tall can you come in the back body? So you're not dropping into that extension too much. It is a stretch. Linger there, breathe into your belly. Don't hold the belly in if you can. Good, the opposite arm drops down and we continue the circle towards the other side. Bend the knees, curl. 1 more in this direction, a little faster. Rolling up. 1 arm, 2 arms, linger, push, breathe in. And out. And in. And out, the arm comes down and bend the knees if you need to, roll down. From the center, we go the opposite direction, away from the camera. The arm leads and you reach. You'll feel more of a stretch in the side body. Good, rolling on up. 1 arm, the other arm. Breathe into the belly, into the ribs. And I always like to imagine here, someone's got my rib cage and they're giving me a gentle hoist up to the ceiling. All imaginary, of course, but you're light, you've got space, and then you travel and you finish off the circle. Curl into the spine. A gentle movement, roll up, lift, push, breathe, 4, 3, maybe sliding the collarbones a little bit further along the ceiling. And then the ribs move and you come on down. Walk your hands out a little further forward. Just round into your back, give it a stretch. Then you're going to step the foot closest to the camera out in front and the other leg back, guys, and come into a lunge. A lunge where you can feel your back hip opening up. As we did if you joined me last week, just place your hand into the front of your hip. And feel that you're not dropping into it, it's active. So 1 hand can come behind your lower back and feel the lift of the lower back out of the hips. And then gently tuck the tail, guide it forward, pubic bone forward and up. Breathe in. And play with just a gentle movement into your pelvis. If you have a look towards me, this is me collapsing This is me a little bit more active. So there's a slight tucking under, posterior tilt of the pelvis. Just staying there to open up that back hip for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lightly push through your front leg and square your hips off like lasers pointing forward. You're in a 90-degree lunge now. Your legs are active. Back foot is pushing down, front foot. Did forget to mention, if you do need anything under your knee, we're going to be doing a kneeling, obviously, position here. Roll up the mat if you need, or place that towel underneath your knee joint. Okay, here we go. Hands come behind the head. Both hands supporting your head now. Use this again to lift up. You're going to twist towards the front leg, towards the camera, and hold. And feel like there's this pole that you're just rotating around with the upper body, but not the lower back. So the lower back's not twisting. All right, from here, breathe in, grow a little bit taller, and a little suggestion of a curl towards that front hip. So not collapsing down, stay long in your spine. And then from here, you're going to move towards the front knee, move towards the back knee, and you might notice here that the front hip will pull forward. Pull that front hip back in space, like there's a wall behind you you're pushing your butt cheek onto. Keep looking back towards your back toe, and then start to lift the gaze up to the ceiling, squaring your chest off to the ceiling, and let your elbows lift you up. Breathe in. And again, twist towards the front leg. Curl. Slowly. Abs work. Obliques. Going back. Lift out of the lower back. Lift out of the back. The brow line lift up. And back through center. Hold. So we're just doing 2 of those this morning. From here, twist again towards the front hip. Curl slightly into your ribs. Release the opposite hand and push it out towards the camera, softening your shoulder. The other hand also pushes out, so you're leaning away, stretching into the sideways for 4. Make sure the breath happens in your belly. 3. So expanding the tissues. And 1. Bring it on up. Sweep the arms down. And knees together. Rounding back. Not quite a full child's pose. Just tucking under into a C curve and hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Your opposite leg comes forward. And again, just taking that gentle stretch here where you open up, through the hip. Hand on the hip. Hand can come behind the lower back and get that lift. So again, not dumping into your hip joint or your lower back. Create more energy. It's more work, of course, and tuck under. Breathe in. Exhale. Soften. Breathe in again. Create a lift. Tuck under. Incrementally move into it. One more time. Doing very dramatic breaths out of my mouth, but you can just breathe in and out through your nose. And then bringing it back, offloading out of that hip, making it more even through both. Hip bones, lasering straight ahead. The legs stay steady, a little bit of leg work. Hands behind your head, and cradle. All right, let's grow tall. Twist towards the couch. Sorry, towards the couch, towards the standing leg. Of course, I've got a couch, you might not. Hold. Curl gently. Curl enough to feel that wonderful stretch, but not enough to twist through the lower back. It's a twist through the rib cage and through the upper back. Good. Control it to the front knee, to the back knee. Look behind you to the back foot, and at this point, start to lift the chest. Look up. Use your hands. Go up. Use your elbows. Take it up. Back to the front leg. Curl. Last one. Coming through. Twist. Lift. Up. Grow, grow, grow. Push through your legs. Find more space in between the vertebrae. And release. All right. From here, Twist over. You're going to round towards that hip. Release your opposite hand and push like you're pushing a wall away. At the same time, leaning away with this hip, stretching into the tissues. Soften the shoulders, the other arm can join it. Hold for 4, for 3, 2, not holding the breath, by the way, breathing, and then take it up. Awesome. And release. Bring yourself back. Drop into a child's pose. Or if that's not happening for you in your hips, just stay here and just round your back and hold for 2 breaths here. Just 2 breaths. And we're going to use the prop, the book, if you've got it. Okay. All right, just before we do the block, come onto your forearms. And in yoga and in Pilates, and most of us know that this is the cat stretch and the cow pose. I call this one the kitten stretch because it's a half movement and you're really just moving your lower back. You're trying not to move your upper back. So if you can, hop the book on your mid back. If it falls off, totally cool, let that happen. But your goal is to try and not move the book on your back. Just try and scoop your lower belly to get a little bit of movement through the lower back. Think round your lower back and then reach the tail to the back of the head. Scoop. You'll soon know if you're using your upper back because it'll push into the block. Again, the book, sorry. Again, if it drops off, no problem. It's just always nice, if you don't have a teacher around who's got their hand on your back, to give yourself some feedback. Challenge with this, guys. Don't use your bottom. Relax your bum. Use your lower abs and just feel that posterior tilt, anterior tilt moving through. 2 more. And at the same time, as you tuck under now, can you pull the bottom part of your singlet, or let's say the collarbone or the bra line here, forward. So you're yearning your chest forward. Feel the abs work here. Awesome. And then from here, place one hand up, other hand up, and slide that book to the lower back. So it should be just where that gap, they are gentle arches, so top of the sacrum, yeah, above the bottom cheeks, and just resting into that lower back there. All right. From here, same thing. Press the lower back so you've got a bit more feedback into the book, and then arch. Press it in. Bum is relaxed. Go for 2 more. Scoop, lengthening. A nice cue to think when you arch, the back of your singlet is wrinkled, the lower back. When you do this, you stretch out the singlet fabric. Hold it there. Tuck your toes. Pull the bottom here, the bra line, or the sternum forward to lengthen, but you're still maintaining that pressure into the book. And then once you've got that, your toes are tucked, guys, you're going to lift and hold. 10, 9, 8. If you keep working that lower back into the book, I do apologize, and pulling your chest forward, you will get lots of lower abs. 2, 1, tap back down. That was so much fun, we're going to do that again. Gently press the lower back to the block. Pull the chest forward past your thumb line and lift. 10, 9, 8, 7. While I'm counting, you need to breathe. Good. Good things come in 3s. So there is 1 more round to do. Here we go, tucking under, pulling the chest forward. Lift. 10, 9, 8. Notice the quality of your breath. You can't quite breathe into your belly here, so you have to breathe quite wide into the back and sides of the ribs. And release. Stay in this position. Tops of the feet touch. The hand that is closest towards the camera is going to be the hand that lifts up into your bird dog. Opposite hand to opposite leg is going to be the one that lifts up. But let's just talk about the arm and the leg that are on the mat. Thinking about this diagonal. This hand, push it away on a diagonal angle. This leg, push it away on a diagonal angle. So you've got this force doing that action. So that should keep you pretty stable here. And then from there, nothing else changes. You press your lower back gently into the block, and you're going to take that arm and leg out to the side without dropping the book, and then you bring it back in. Let's go for another. 5. And in. Side. And into the center line. Reach. You'll notice my thumb is up to the ceiling. 2 to go. Challenging the muscles in around the spine, the abs. Last one, hold. 8, 7, 6. Can you pull your chest forward, but press your lower back through that block? I hope so. And release. Straight to the second side. Pushing the opposite hand to the corner of the mat, diagonally. The other leg pushes away diagonally. The other hand, the other leg become light. And here we go. Lower belly draws in, bum relaxed. And take it out. And pull back in. That's 8. Sorry, not 8, I do apologize. We're doing 6 of them. That's 5, 4, 3. See how stable you can become through your center. 2. Hold on the 1. Hold it. 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep the connection to the book on your back. Pull the chest forward and release. Fantastic. Last part for the forearms for the weight bearing. Come onto your forearms again. Move your knees a bit further back. And from here, once again, tuck the tail under and feel that energetic pull here towards the front of the mat. Tuck your toes, and maybe you stay here if that's enough, just to work that feeling of lengthening the lower back and pulling your chest forward. Otherwise, bring it up into your forearm plank without the bottom dropping. So I want you to think the butt actually goes a little higher. The pubic bone pulls forward, then the rib cage pulls forward. All right, we've got 20 seconds to go. If you need to drop your knees down, keep the core working, just lower your knees. And hold for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and all the way down to the mat, all the way down onto your tummy. Rest for a moment before we continue. Whew. Okay. So the next part, we'll do a little bit of work into mobilizing again into extension of the spine, and then back to the core, but on your back. So I call this one the Cobra Scorpion. You're going to take your hand by your ribs, shoulder pulling back as opposed to dropping down, the other arm out to the side in a 45-degree angle. Good, you're going to bend the leg that's closest to your grasshopper arm. Take the ear to the floor and twist. And feel a beautiful spiraling action from your lower back all the way up to your back of the neck. So picture the staircase of a spine. And breathe. You should also feel a nice little stretch in the front of your shoulder for some. Big deep belly breath, guys, and change sides. So you come along, bend, and twist. Allow the breath to really expand. Don't be afraid to move the tissues here. Last breath. And back to center. One more on each side. Ear hits the floor. For some of you, the toes might not touch the floor. That's no problem. Just feel that you're pushing that thigh back, opening up your hip. And breathe, most importantly. It's always nice when you're in a hold where you're not having to use your core so much to explore the breath, the deep abdominal diaphragmatic breath. How much movement you can get into the rib cage, change sides. And release. Okay. Taking cactus arms, elbows just ever so slightly in front of your shoulders, thumbs up to the ceiling. And if you just look to the camera first, I'll just show you. So in this position, we might tend to slump. What I'm going to get you to do is you'll be placing the forehead on the floor. You'll draw your shoulders just gently away from the mat up to the ceiling. And I want you to feel that you're pulling the floor apart widthways, not squeezing the shoulder blades, but actually broadening as the head stays still. Then from there, I'm going to get you to keep the forehead down and lift the arms up and hold. About 8 counts. And then after that, we're also going to lift the upper body to meet the arms and hold here. So let's begin. Head goes down, thumbs to the ceiling, shoulders back and shoulders wide. Lift your forearms off the mat. Push your arms up to the ceiling. 8, 7, 6, 5. Feel like you're pushing 2 walls away with your forearms. Breathe in. Exhale, lightly draw in the lower belly, just a little, and lengthen your tail down towards the back of the heels and start to lift up like baby cobra. Maybe a little bit more extension. And hold, try and tip your elbows lower than your thumbs. Hold 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. We'll do that again. Roll out your hips. Okay, head rest down, forehead rest down, thumbs up, push the walls away, and just your arms lift. Try and get them a little bit higher, pushing outwards. Hold, another 4, another 3, 2, 1. Feel your mid-back muscles work. So extension, lift up. Maybe a little higher, so you're looking ever so slightly at the front of the mat, but not into the neck. And then just hear my cue. Drop your elbows down towards the floor. Push the thumbs back in space. Hold 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Take your hands by your ribs. Push back through a cobra. Slide your legs in. We're going to go into the snail in just one moment to gently relax through the spine. Again, this is active as opposed to a passive stretch, and this is what they use in yoga. The hands are on the heels. You draw your chin in, not to jam it, like you've got a mandarin in between the chin and the chest. The crown of the head will go down onto the floor, but no weight. And then your job is to use your belly energetically, draw it up to push and to round your spine up to the ceiling. And more so, just to get that gentle stretch through the sacral region, through your lower back. The head lightly touches, the shoulders are wide. And if it's okay, create gentle breaths here into the belly. If you feel that your lower back can tolerate it, explore that breath. If it needs to be slightly shallower, that's fine. So stay for one more breath in your snail. And then release. And let's come onto our side. So choose which side you would like to work with. You're going to be legs in a chair position, so knees are stacked in line with your hips or even a little bit higher. So the lower back now doesn't move. We get movement through the mid-spine area. These are called chest openers. So hands are tucked behind the head. Step 1, top elbow lifts to the ceiling. Think about from the belly button down, no movement. The movement happens right here in the mid-back. So ladies, it's like where your bra line is. So step 2, open up your chest, cradle your head and drop back into a chest opener. The beauty of this one is when you stay here and you focus on a deep breath in and out. And again, breathe in Out breath, bring it back. And we go 2 more times. Inhale, elbow to ceiling. Exhale, coming back. Breathing in. And we'll take it all the way back. So just 1 breath there. Last one, inhale up, elbow. Exhale, twist. Think about the crown of your head reaching away from you and away from your tail. Find more length. Breathe in. And bring it back. Same side. Stay with me here. I'm going to come into a side bridge. So holding now in a stable position. You have the option of lifting up in a knee stacked position or make it harder, like so. Shoulder over elbow and drawing through the fist. It's going to be about 45 seconds, so come down if you need to. All right, just before we come up, when you do lift, you want to feel the pubic bone pulling forward, and you want to feel the ribs, the chest here lifting up, just like we did in the forearm plank. Here we go. Lift on up. So, when you're in your plank position, quite often this will happen. If you need to, take your hand, support your temple and lift it up, or support your ear and feel where you need to be, and that's where your head stays. Imagine there's a wall behind you. Press the back of the head back into the wall. Feel like both butt cheeks hit the wall and both sides of your mid-back, bra line and shoulders hit the wall. Then from here, make that little adjustment. Tuck under. Maybe turn the bum on a little, but pull the chest that way, working more into your hips. Good, we just have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And release. Coming up, swapping sides and chest openers on the second side. Hands behind your head, everyone. And here we go. Elbow up to the ceiling. Open up into your chest opener. Relax the head. Lengthen your spine and breathe in. And just relax. Is there any tension on your shoulder? Just check. Breathe. Relax. And last one. So remember the first one, we linger for 2 breaths and bring it back. 2 more times. In. Out. Breathe. Inhale. Out breath, bring it back. If you feel like you're in fetal position, please lengthen yourself out. Last one, arm up. Back. Stay for your breath in. Pull it back. And come on up. All right, 45 seconds of your other side bridge. Do what you did on the other side. So even if you do feel this is a stronger side and you want to go for the full version, but you bent your knees, do make it even. Check your shoulder head's not pushing forward. Bring it back. Make that effort to pull the pubic bone forward and up, and the chest to lengthen that way. And here we go, coming on up. Making these adjustments, hip bones are stacked. Head's not dropping down. Give yourself support if you need, and feel this wall behind you. Imagine it. You're pressing against it. You're just in one beautiful long line. Good. Breathing. Spine those abs a little bit more, the lower belly. Pubic bone pulls forward, tailbone lengthens. Chest, reaches that way. Good stuff. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. All right. We get a little bit of back time, guys. Come onto your back for me, please. And upper body, excuse me, stay still. This is one of those gentle twists. We don't twist too much or rotate too much in the lower back. It's not really designed for that. It's designed to round and extend. So this one's a nice gentle way of getting that nice feeling of a gentle twist, but let's make it active. So you're using your core for this one. Arms by your sides a little bit lower, so you're not on your shoulders, legs up. I want you to feel that the lower back just gently presses into the mat, a very slight engagement here. And then from here, feel the back of your mid-back, your bra line, soften and widen that into the mat. Legs are together. Move your legs over towards the camera without the other shoulder lifting off. And you want to control it so the legs don't touch. Notice you'll feel tension on the other side of your waistline. Your obliques are kind of holding you there. Breathe. And then work here to pull yourself back. Good. Exhale to the other side. This shoulder stays down. Breathe. And work here. If you want to take this and make it harder, you can always move your legs further away from you, encouraging more of a longer lever, or you can have straight legs. I'll leave that up to you. But I want you to feel you've got that control. The lower back's not really pulling you back to center. The abs are. And the other side. Remember, if you want to make it harder, we do one more. You just move the legs further away from you. This makes it a little bit harder. The tissues of the belly have to work just that little harder to support you here. Nice. Last one. So all of these are little tasters, of course. I would do more in a class setting, but I want you to get a good feeling of what's capable of working in around your spine and in around your core muscles. Please form this shape with your index and thumb, and it's your 2 index fingers and your thumbs which are going to push into the ground behind you. And then what I would like you guys to do is just let your elbows drop to the floor. So this is a position we don't want them in for this one. I want you to lift your elbows to the ceiling and feel the back body broadening. Push your mid-back, your head, and your lower back gently to the mat. Take one leg away from you and just hold it there. Easy cue from the front. Wrinkle from the top waistband of your pants or the pubic bone all the way up to the bra line, the chest region. Make wrinkles in the front of your singlet or t-shirt. Picture the wrinkles. Don't let your belly, your t-shirt fabric stretch as you dip that foot down to the floor. And you're holding here, so you have to breathe. But where do you breathe? A little bit more into the sides of the ribs because the belly's having to work strong. Hold for another 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg back up. Second side. Lower the leg down. Push the hands into the floor. Push the mid-back, the head, the lower back. Breathing. Another 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it up. Think about this being your plank work, but obviously on your back. All right, if you want to continue and make this harder and your hamstrings allow, you can straighten your legs and do straight legs. Otherwise, continue with bent legs. So the leg lowers away from you. Whatever position you're in, the leg that is closest towards you, pull it to your face. Hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the legs up and change. So if you're doing your long lever like so and you're just lifting your lower back off, please just bring it to a position that you can maintain. So it's not about going to that full range just yet. You want to just test it out and build up your strength and endurance. All right, we have 2 to go. Either do a single leg, 2 of them, 1 on each side, or do 2 double legs. Double legs, I'm going to bend my knees because it's hard just enough with the knees bent. Wrinkle the front of the singlet. Drop the heels down like weights to the floor and hold for 8, 7, 6. Your belly should be shaking. 2, 1, and your lower back is not lifting from the mat. Last one. Here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug your knees in towards your chest, everyone. Hold it there. Leaning back into your upper back. Widening behind the shoulders. All right, from here, take your legs, either keep them here or straighten them up, heels together, toes apart, and widen them like a little starfish. You can always have the knees bent. What I want you to do is use your hands to push against your thighs and to create more length through your spine, leaning back even as you're in a curled up position. So you don't feel hunched, you are long and curled up. Then from here, see how far you can lower your legs, release your hands, and we hold for about 20 seconds. I'm not going to destroy you with the hundreds today, but just stay here, breathe in stillness. Good. Another 5, another 4, another 3, another 2, and 1. Bring it in, feet on the ground, peel your hips up. Woof. Hold it up. Opening up through the hip joints here. Arms resting down by your side. Rolling down through your upper back, your middle back, lower back. Articulating, breakdancing worm going down and then peeling up. So you're feeling yourself and your spine is supple. It's a soft and pliable movement. It's not rigid and clunky. So this is through the center. What I'd like you to do is come on back up, reach the knees forward, and then just slightly gaze towards the camera. Tilt your hips to the camera and roll down through one side, wrinkling one side of the singlet and then roll back up. Back through center, go away from the camera, wrinkle the other side of the singlet or t-shirt, and then bring it back up. So you're just having an exploration of massaging your side body, your side ribs, your lower back into the mat. Maybe you have a tighter side and you'd like to do more after the session. Feel it out, soften it. Really let it go. Relax your chest. We'll just do one more, just to show you the possibilities. I'm not always feeling so linear. Back through center and roll on down. Have a look to the camera. I'll show you the rollover before you do it yourself so that you do not look sideways. The rollover is, the legs will be up. You'll want to press your lower back to the mat, stretch your legs away from you, then up to the ceiling, up and overhead, and down to the floor. They don't have to touch the floor. If they can, awesome. Tap, lift slightly, small V, keep the feet pointed, and then you roll down through your upper back. Use your abs, your middle back, resisting the shoulders, pulling away from the floor. Once the backside touches, bring your legs back together, up and overhead, tap the floor if you can, small V, I'm just doing this quite fast, and roll back down. So if you've been watching that, please look up to the ceiling so you're not looking towards my direction or the camera direction, and I'll cue you through this so you can really enjoy it. Think about as much length in your spine as possible. Here we go. Legs out on a long line, legs to the ceiling and up and overhead, pushing through your arms. Separate legs into a small V, point the feet, roll down, massage one vertebra at a time with control. Always helps to smile when you do this one so you're not gripping in the mouth and the jaw. Up and overhead again. Small V, point, roll down. Let's do one more. Legs together, up and overhead. Separate into a small V, point the feet, roll on down. Now how close to the end of the mat can you reach your tail? And reach the head away from that point. And then legs come together, guys. Roll yourselves up and have a breather for a moment. Well done. Okay, so that concludes our work down on the back. Okay, so we're going to go back onto the side for this one. So coming onto your side, this time stacked and without collapsing into the shoulder. The bottom leg can be bent so it's a little bit easier. The top leg, you're going to reach the top leg back to open up through the hip. Take your opposite hand, the one closest obviously to the camera, tap it onto the floor, thumb facing up, and I want you to feel your rib cage and your shoulders, your bra line face towards the floor, getting a good stretch here. Slide it away from you as you push the leg back behind you and hold. Then the top palm faces back. You flex your top foot and you're going to, like you're pushing two curtains in opposite directions. Bring that leg forward, push the hand back and look over your shoulder. Not rounding your back, but keeping long. And we make it a little bit more dynamic. Twist, look to the floor, look to the forearm, and then look over the shoulder, bringing it back. For another 2. So this brings in elements of the shoulder, of the hip. Last 1. And hold. Grab your knees. Curling up sideways. Hold onto the knees if you can. Soften into the lower back. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then arrive back onto your bottom cheeks. Feet go down so you're centered. Gather your thighs. Holding here if you'd like to. Or if you're able to go into your teaser position, you can straighten your legs and then take your arms up and think about becoming a little taller. Otherwise, here is fine and hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, scooping the lower belly and releasing second side, coming on to the fist, onto the forearm. Bottom knee bends in. Top leg moves back and you're reaching out of the hip. Opposite arm, the one closest to the camera, slides onto the mat, thumb up, and then get that spiraling action from your rib cage, not so much the lower back. Lift the arm, stretch it, now flex, push, look over the shoulder. That's 1. There's no resistance here apart from your imagination. So, imagining you are in water and you're pushing a force. Resistant water. 1 more, guys. Push. And arrive. Knees together, cradle in, hug it in here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then bringing it back, arriving up, cradling behind the thighs again, or by the shins, taking your legs up, or keeping them here. What I want you to do is I want you to think about there being a sling behind you, a nice C-curved hammock, and I want you to soften back into that. Wrinkle from here to here, the front singlet fabric, t-shirt fabric, and then arrive up, if you can, palms up to the ceiling. Squeeze the legs together, push the ceiling away, hold 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Coming back over and coming on to your front. Just moving from side to side here. Getting a nice little stretch. And our last part on the tummy, getting it back into your extension. So, very similar to what we did before, like so, but this time the legs don't move. Taking one hand by your ribs, the other arm out to the side. Keep both hip bones on the floor. Lift the chest halfway. You are in your back muscles here, not so much your shoulders. So it's a little tiny lift, not huge. Lift up as high as you can using your back muscles. And then use your hands to pull the mat apart, that force. So not squeezing the shoulder blades like you might be cued in yoga, but widening the shoulder blades, widening your back. And then use the arms to come up a little higher. Think about the twist initiating from your mid-back, your bra line. Start to look over that shoulder. Bring it back. Pull yourself forward, lengthening, 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 changing your arms. Opposite arm. Use your back muscles, guys, to come on up. Hold. Pull the mat widthways first, then use your arms to come up. And keep hip bones level and pushing onto the mat as you twist. The hips will love to roll with you, and I want you to keep your hips firmly down. And back. Give me 1 more of those on each side. So, half cobra, other arm is out in your swan position that we call in Pilates. You lift on up. Pull now, find more length. Drive the hip bones into the floor and do a gentle twist as much as your spine will allow. Back through center, pull and lower back down. Last one, coming up. Twist. Back to center, pull and down. Both hands forward of the shoulders, wider than the mat. Lift up, use your arms fully, your swan position in Pilates, shoulders back. Use the heels of the hands to pull yourself forwards. Lengthen the tail slightly down towards the back of the heels, pull forward and start to lower yourself down and start to tune into your lower back muscles, squeeze in around the spine. Your mid-back muscles, squeeze in around the mid-spine. Maybe in around the brow line area, hold. Can you hold yourself there now? Back behind you and hold for 10, 9, 8. Make the back of the neck nice and long so you're looking slightly downwards. Good. Turn your palms up to the ceiling. Slide your hands onto your lower back. Guide your tailbone even longer. Lift up an inch higher and another 8, 7, 6, 5. Shoulders back now. And rest. Well done. Whew. I would usually do quite a lot more of those to really get good and strong in the back. So if you'd like any part of these to rewind and redo, I suggest doing about 4 to 6 rounds of that to really build up the strength in your spine. All right, everyone, push on back to a well-deserved child's pose, or AKA shell stretch in Pilates. Notice my feet are tucked. I'm just letting my feet breathe, opening up. And just round forward into a cat stretch. Moving to one side, dipping down. Go for your snaky cat. Get some freedom of movement back into your spine. Reverse your direction, leaning to the other side, coming down, up. And then one little stretch up to finish off. Come back just to where we started in our forward fold. Let your head completely hang. Bend your knees if you feel stiffer in the lower back from that last exercise. But make an effort to draw your shoulders away from the floor so you create more space in between your earlobes and the shoulder heads. And then from there, grab onto your calves or wherever you feel you need to. You can have your fingertips down and just yes and no the head. Side to side. The further you pull your shoulders back, the more gentle tractioning you'll get through the neck. All right, and then let's just stay in stillness here. Clasp the hands behind the head. Have your elbows facing towards your knees and have your knees bent. Take a big deep breath into your belly. Feel the belly push onto the thighs. Out breath. One more time. Breathe in. And then draw the belly in. Massage the spine. Roll up through the lower back. Through the middle back. Upper back. Stretch your arms and release. All right, you guys are done. I hope you enjoyed that. Sorry about being an absolute sweaty mess in Bali here. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions or comments, please write it in the comments box below. You'll also be able to watch this video afterwards. Like I said, if there's anything in particular that feels amazing on your spine or really juicy, works for you, stop the video, redo it, do more repetitions, choose what you will, take bits of it, and make it your own session as well, as we are all so different. But that's how I like to move the spine in all the different ways that it's designed to do, so that you feel really energized and really, really vibrant. To reiterate, if you do, it is feasible for you to make a donation, that would be obviously so appreciated, and my details for PayPal are there. Also, so are my social media links to follow me on Instagram or Facebook. Otherwise, I wish you a wonderful Sunday. Be well, be happy, and I shall see you next Sunday, same time. Next Sunday, it's going to be all about the hips, juicy hips. So I hope you can tune in then. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.